Right, so here's Can't Stop by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Okay, so I'm using this like scratchy muted effect, but if I took that away, I'm going to touch on that at the end because that's a quite hard technique to master, but it's something good to work on. But if I took that away and I just played the straightforward notes, it'd sound like this. Okay, so all the way running through this song, if I show you on the actual chart here, you can see this 7/9. See there, it's on every single line and it's on the 3rd string, and that's your down down, which is the tiny little riff that runs through it. So I want you to go on the 3rd string up and play a 7/9. So 1 2 3 7 9, and I want you to use your 1st finger on the 7 and your 3rd finger on the 9. So you got, and just practice that for a bit, get used to it, because you're going to be going to other notes and then you're always going to come back to this. So just practice that quite a few times, get used to it. Now your first note is the 7th fret on the 5th string, and you hit that once and then you go to your 7/9. Okay, so that's your very first bit. If I show you here, just zoom down, there you go. So 7 on the 5th string, hit it once, do a 7/9. Now the next part, you hit this 7 3 times. So this should sound like, and then 7/9. And then the riff, it ends on 3 lots of 7s there. See at the end? So you don't end on the 7/9. So the pattern is 1 on the 7 there, then you 7/9, 3 on the 7, 7/9, and 3 on the 7. So just practice that nice and slow. I'll show you what that looks like. If you get the gist of the first one, then the others come a lot easier. So nice and slow. Okay, let's have a look at the next line. So if you can see, similar pattern. If you notice all the way through, it is the same pattern that happens. We'll talk about that in a minute. So this note starts on the 5th fret, the 5th string. So you want to be going to here, there, and then coming up to the 7/9, back to the 5 3 times, 7/9, and then 3 times. So play that whilst you look at the music, helps a lot of people. So putting the first 2 together is always a good idea rather than jumping straight on. Give that a little good practice if you're new to all this kind of jumping about the place. It's good to just practice that for a bit. Alright, so the 3rd line jumps on the 7th fret on the top string. So don't get this confused with the first. This is the first line, see that's on the 5th string. If you look carefully there, this jumps to the top here. So we do the same pattern, 7, 7/9, 3 of the 7s, 7/9, and 3 of them. Okay, and the very last line, you go to the 8th fret on the top string, so you might want to use your 2nd finger. So I've come from here going, and use my 2nd finger here on the 8. So just play that last line while you can look at the music. So there on the 8 once, 7/9, 3 lots of 8, 7/9, 3 lots of 8. So I'm going to put the whole piece on there. So I'll go through it slowly. Now you can see the pattern that runs through it. If I was just to show you each part, it hits it once, hits the first note once on each line, then does 7 9, then does 3 lots of whatever the start note was, then a 7 9, and 3 notes of the start note but to end it. So you can see there's a pattern running through it. So the way to memorize this is just to look at the first 4 notes. You can see there the first one starts on 7 on the 5th string, and then the 5th fret on the 5th string, and then the 7 on the top string, and then the 8 on the top string. You can almost hear the song by just doing that. I would go around them 4 notes till you memorised them, so you know what the root notes are. And then you start your first one, do your pattern. I know my next note's here. I know my next note's here. Know my next note's here. Now, if I'm playing it too quick, don't feel pressured to get it up to that speed. It takes a bit of time. You better go in slow and getting it precise. I'd rather you go this slow. And get every note precise, and then rather than go and just make mistakes, you know, you'll just be caught in a trap for a long time. So take things slow. Just get it precise, hear the notes, get them in a nice order. And then once you've got that good, then it's easy to speed up. So I'm going to show you the technique to make it sound like the record, because there's a lot of muting happening in the background. Now what's happening is I'm placing my fingers on the strings here. See that's called a mute. If I press down harder on these strings, you get notes, but I don't want notes. I want to just release the pressure, barely even touching them. So listen, see that? That's what you call a mute. And to get the note, what I do is press on strings and it releases the note underneath the mute. So if I was to mute this and press on this 7, you can see that note's poking under the mute. So I can, rather than being specific with my picking hand, I can go like this. And you can see I'm just strumming everything, but I'm releasing the note that I want. So the best practice is to do this. So work on that note, pressing this note down, get your mute, release that note, and then I move that note down there to the 7. And then this is easier here because you've got your little finger there, and just mute these. I'll just suggest that. And then you got. And then the next one. And then here. It almost looks like my hands not doing anything, and if you watch a lot of guitarists on telly, you think, oh, the hands don't look like they're doing much, and it's because they've got good technique. And they generally go for the minimal sort of movement to get maximum sort of capabilities and smoothness. So I'm going to play it and you'll see my hands don't look like they're moving. I did notice then when I did the 5 here, I favoured doing my little finger like that, rather than, because my little finger's there and I've got plenty of time to get up to there. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that. Don't worry yourself about the technique at the end too much, especially if you're new to guitar. That's probably a bit more for an advanced player, so just do the single note. Just do that version just to get your fingers moving. It helps you with your chords, and then you can progress further down the line. Alright, thank you.